So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're going to take a look at a really fun build for the new Staticor. So it's a 3 Forma build, and what we're going to do with that Forma is add 3 Vs. And we're going to start off by adding Hornet Strike for more damage, Barrel Diffusion for some multi-shot, Lethal Torrent for even more multi-shot, but more importantly fire rate with this weapon, and then we're going to add Anemic Agility to get ridiculous amounts of fire rate. Now this removes a little bit of damage from the weapon, but it doesn't really matter. The fire rate is worth it. And before people say anything, I know I can swap it out with Heated Charge to get a few more points, but this way the build looks neater and it still fits, alright? Then we're gonna add Deep Freeze and Heated Charge for blast damage, because blast damage on the Staticor has the same effect as it does on the Sonicor. So if you proc blast with this weapon, you're gonna fire the enemy into the sky and probably to another planet. And finally, we're going to add Jolt and Pistol Pestilence to bump up our status chance and to also get corrosive damage. And this way, we're getting almost 90% status chance, which is good enough. And we're also getting Radiation, Blast, and Corrosive damage, which is awesome. Now, before I talk about the build a little bit more, people often ask, how do I come up with these builds? So I want to take you through the process of making this build, or, deciding what kind of mods I want on this weapon, alright? So allow me to recreate the process of modding this weapon. Alright, so let's put Hornet Strike and Barrel Diffusion on and see what this weapon can do. This is really slow. Oh my god, I hope Lethal Torrent fixes this. 1 Lethal Torrent coming right up. Nah, pretty good, not bad, but I think you could use a bit more fire rate. You know what? Screw it. Let's just go with Anemic Agility. Alright, this is more like it. This is a really nice. I wonder what happens when I put blast damage on the thing. Alright, bit more status chance with Pistol Pestilence and Jolt, and blast damage. Well, I'll be damned. Sonicor 2.0. Oh my god, this is really fun. I really don't think it can get more ridiculous than... Oh my god. And that's pretty much how I make builds. It's not rocket science. So as you can probably tell, I really like this weapon, especially with this build. It has everything. It does a lot of damage, it has crowd control, it's really fun, it has some really useful status effects. With this build, this is probably the best weapon to take into an endurance run, because it's going to do a ton of damage in the beginning, so it's going to be pretty easy, but as you go deeper and deeper, the damage will fall off, and the status chance will kick in. So you will ragdoll enemies with blast, and you will strip away their armor with corrosive and confuse them with radiation, which means they're going to kill each other very easily, because they're not going to have any armor thanks to corrosive damage. This is a brilliant combination of status effects. This is one of those builds where you could easily remove Hornet Strike and it wouldn't really hurt the weapon at all. And it's relatively cheap as well, aside from the bloody alertium that you need to build this weapon, it's only 3 Forma, which is pretty damn low for something that could easily be considered an endgame build. In the beginning, I wasn't a very big fan of the weapon because of the bloody fire rate. But as I added fire rate and I added more and more mods, I fell in love with it. This weapon has officially replaced my Sonicor for either faffing about and having fun, or for endurance runs. So all in all, this is pretty much just a pretty cheap and fun endgame build. I cannot recommend it enough. The only downside, if you can even call it that, is the charge attack. It's just bad. Alright, the projectile is way too slow, and even with all the fire rate that I have on the weapon, it still takes, in my opinion, far too long to charge it. Although this build may be a little bit too much fun, if that makes any sense, I failed many missions thanks to this build, because instead of focusing on the objectives, like either defending a terminal or capturing a target, I was just running around killing dudes. But that's not really a downside, that's just me being a derp. So that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.